Okay, I want to say hello everybody, welcome to another art video. Okay, now I want to say I've not done any art videos. You will have noticed on this new channel which I'm using. I had a lot more art videos on my old channel. I do have an art channel, a new art channel also, which is Sketch Workshop. But I've not uploaded any videos on there yet either, so I've not started. But Sketch Workshop is ready to be started. Okay, there's going to be a lot of art, digital drawing and painting videos on there. I'm not the best artist or anything, but that's one of my main passions in life. I'm always off camera, I'm always drawing in my free time, and I'm always creating animation, mostly frame animation. If you want to see some of my recent rough animations, I've got an ongoing animation channel for just animate little mini short animated clips by me, okay, and shows, and you can have a look on there on my channel, okay, which is rough frames cinema. And I've shown you what I'll do is hold on one second. What I'll do is I'll leave the link in the description, okay? But I've got an animation channel, okay, called Rough Frames Cinema. Anyway, what I'm going to do now in this video is I'm just going to look at something, okay, just really quickly. I'm going to just do some practice of drawing some figures, okay, in various positions, really rough, and just show you one or some of the rough methods I use to practice drawing figures. I find it very hard to draw a lot of things like characters, in various poses, the anatomy and the positions, poses of characters, and also the backgrounds can be hard. But I'm just always trying to improve, and practice. And you can start off with like an under sketch, like a little stick figure type scribble, or some like kind of dummy mannequin, and you can draw on top of that, and there's different ways which work better than others. But let's just have a quick little recap then while I'm here. So I'll show you an image. Here's one I did earlier. This is one of the methods I work with. So I'll start off with this, and then I go on top of it and I work it a bit more, and I'll draw on top of those to create actual characters. But let's just take that step by step and I'll show you basically. So what I'll do is this is just one way that I've found that works really well. Okay, so let's say we have a ground line. I'll just do a ground line here. Remember, this is really rough stuff, okay? And let's imagine, and I'll make this faint as well, turn down the opacity. I'll do like another line here to represent halfway up the body. So this will be like halfway. This will be like the waistline. So the feet will be on the ground and the waist will be there. And then another, it's roughly like halfway, you see. So the top will be the head, where the head is. The middle line will be the waist, and then down on the bottom are where the feet are. And it might not be exactly the same always, but that's basically what we're doing, okay? So what I'll do is oh, let me tie, it's very late here too. What I'll do is I'll just do like a little circle shape for the head, or like a little oval egg sort of shape. Another little line underneath it, like it to indicate a neck. And then the body I'll split into two parts. I'll just do like basically it's a rectangle basically, but I split it so you've got two equal sized squares basically. What we're really doing, okay, is let me just add on some arms. For the arms, first of all, what I'll do is for the arms, okay, and the legs, is I'll literally just do two lines down like that. You can imagine where the knee is in the middle. You can put a little mark if you want to. Put little lines for the feet, and the same for the arms. So I'll just put the arms all the way down there, and the hands will line up where the groin is basically. And I'll put a little shape if I want to show where the hands are. If you hold on 1 second, guys, if you bear with me for 1 second, just bear with me for 1 second. I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, I need to check something. Okay, sorry guys, I'm back. Yeah, I'm back now. So basically yeah. So sorry about that. I had to go there for 1 second. Sorry, but yeah, basically so you know the hands are about where the groin level is or the waist level there. You know, that's not exactly even. I know I've done that, but you know you can imagine like a line down the middle of the body. So we're facing this. This is on the front, like facing. Okay, we're seeing this front on. Okay. You have to imagine that this is kind of 3D as well, and the head you can put like a line across here as well to show, like a line across where the eyes are going to go, the eye line, and you can have that in the middle or just like a little bit higher. You can depend how you want to do it, and then the line down the middle. So that's just where the nose is going to be, and the eyes and all the rest of it, and the mouth, and you'll just work your face in later on. But the point is, okay, when you're doing this, okay, that's just a really good way to start. I feel, you know, you might not draw that line in, but you just start to understand where that line is, that centre line, those centre lines. Now let's just take another look at that. What we're really doing, essentially, is doing a head, a neck, okay, and then when it comes to that, we've got a shoulder line and a hips line, obviously. But what it is really what you've got is you've got this torso part, okay, divided into this like kind of rib cage, and then the bottom part of the body is here, the bottom of the guts and everything, you know, and then you've got a waist, hips and waist. You see, so it's actually three parts really, you see, and the line down the middle. That's what you've really got. And then you've got your legs, you know, you can put your shapes in and everything, so you put little knees shapes, and then you get better at doing the shapes. I'm doing it very roughly here, but you know what I mean. You might put circles in, you might do circles for the shoulders, you know, and hold on, and just do all that. You might want to put some joints if you want to do that. You don't have to, you know, and then put two little hands like that maybe. I've done these really sloppy, but you get the idea though, yeah. And you know, I know the head's really too small as well, I can see that, but you get the idea, right? I know you might put some shape to it and everything, you know. Yeah. So what we're effectively looking at is on this version, the left one. This one is this is my one that I like to use to start off with, and it's like so you've got to imagine where that is. So we've got this part here, this per se, it's going to be like the rib cage, you know, about halfway-ish, fair enough. Then you've got the guts to about there, right, you know, and you've got the six-pack or whatever the heck it is, the chest, you know, all that, you know, and then you've got this groin here with these underpants or whatever, you know, there. So you got, you know, you can colour code that if you want to, you know. And yeah, so you've got that 1, 2 and 3. So if you want to do it that way, you can imagine. So, but the ultimate thing is I'm not bothering to split it into 3 parts really, okay, 1, 2 and 3. What I'm really doing is I'm just imagining it all as one thing, and I just imagine it as one bendy thing that can be changed into various poses basically. So let me just get rid of these dudes and make another one. So let's just do that again. If I do this guy here, this is practice for me by the way, don't forget too. I can imagine the spine in the middle if I want to do it that way, but I don't usually do it. I just imagine it like the body is like it's made of like some cushions or something. That's what I imagine them to be. Kind of rounded off like square kind of shapes, and you see how I'm doing it lower this time. I'm just, remember, like I say, I'm just including it in 2. I split it into half, but I imagine this thing as one bendy like rectangular cuboid thing. I didn't do the neck there, but you know, just put the neck in simply if you want to. The thing is, what I'm doing is I'm just imagining it, so I can just do stick figure legs. I can bend the legs, you see, because he's bending his legs. He's gone lower than this headline, you see, and his waistline is lower than this, you see. It's gone down, you see, and this has gone down as well here, you see. So that's all gone. It's just his changed, you know, his angle. He's got to lower, you see. And then you know the arms obviously will follow. And you can just literally bend the elbows. Do it. If you want to do a more detailed hand, you can do that, like a little circle or something. It's up to you what you want to do. Square. You know, you don't have to do the joints like this as well if you don't want to. Just do it like that. And like that, it's just the same thing. You see, so I can do anything I want. I can do that. See, this one's more there. This one will be kind of like more straight, you see, because it's more, yeah, it's more on that line, isn't it, you see. It's a good way of teaching the self, I'll say that, you know. This is like a thumbs up, so do it like that. And I'll have it like close, because we can't really see. Like he's just got this closer towards us, and then this one will be here. He's like holding his gun or something, or whatever it is, you know. Who knows, maybe they're gangbangers in the hood, like with a hoodie on. What's up, homeboy? That was the most nappiest thing on YouTube. We used to say naff back in the day. It means whack. Anyway, let's just. I'm speaking rather whack, aren't I? So if you don't want to watch this, you can go and watch my whack rap videos if you like. I try and put enough like variation of different stuff on this channel. You know what I mean? I try to put like art videos, martial art videos, music videos. All kinds of stuff, you know, even game stuff. Like I put a game like me playing Street Fighter and stuff. I just try and share all my passion and stuff, you know. Yeah, so, okay, so now we've got that understood. Okay, now another thing you want to understand is the way of using cubes and stuff too. They always talk about this action line. There's this action line, like an action line like this, a line of action, where it might be just part of the body. Apparently, they do it like that. You could have like a couple of different ones, or I think something like that. I'm not actually used to doing them, but people talk about these action lines, like, you know, you have, okay, you know then the body's going to be here, you know what I mean, like that kind of thing, and you follow the line of action. See, or it might be this one, like bendy shapes, you know. See, he's doing some exercise, who knows, okay. You know what I mean. And yeah, doesn't really matter how the rest of the body is. It could be like however, maybe this is like here, resting on a wall or something. Who knows? You know, that looks kind of painful actually. But yeah, I'm just saying, you know, they've got these like action lines. They talk about these action lines. People would use them and that, you know, to set up scenes. But you can just use the spine as well. I like to use the spine sometimes. But rather than just doing the spine though, I like to imagine the whole thing. So what I'm doing is like I used to do it by using just like one. You can use like many different ways of doing it. Let me just show you. I'll do a few, okay, so you just watch what I do here. You can use like a cube for the head. I'm going to just do different angles. Imagining this is made of cubes, cylinders and spheres. Okay, cubes, cylinders and spheres. You can make it as using all of those in different ways, or just sizes and stuff, or a combination of all of them, you know, or some of them. So I'm just basically doing cube here, is where the face is going to go. I'll put a line on the side too. I'll put a little indication where the ear is going to go, a little mark here for where the ear is going to be. I'll put a little, I imagine it's a little small cylinder type shape for the neck there. And for the body part, we'll split it into these parts again. So I'm going to have another like kind of cuboid sort of shape here, you see. And here for this bottom part, I'm going to have like a sphere. Imagine a sphere. And I'm going to put the lines down the middle too, so we can tell where the front is. We don't need to do that one, we just have the front one here. The reason I've done this round one here to show how round it is, and then this is going to come around the front here. We could have it another way, we could have it like here maybe, but it looks painful actually, don't have it here. Okay, now here for the, I'm going to split it into three. We'll have the groin area in another direction, so we're going to have it here, okay. That'll be there, so that's facing us like that, okay. So you can see already we've got some kind of, you know, it's not perfect, but some kind of thing going on. And the spine will run all the way through that, obviously. Kind of get the idea, right? Now, you know, I can put spheres on here as well for like the shoulders if I want to, or like for the hips. I can put spheres if I want to. but I don't have to. I can just directly just start to do the shapes. So I could start by, let's say, doing stick figure arms like you see. Sometimes it's better to start with, or legs, you know. Sometimes it's better to like start with the hands. It's really crazy. Like if I want to put a hand here, let's just make them spheres. Okay, in this case, spheres. I can put fingers on and make it into like fists or whatever. Imagine like just simple lines there. See. And I'm just going to basically imagine where that goes back to where the elbow is going to be about here. Try and work it out in space. Is this dot I'm putting here? Is that close to us or further away from us? Because it's just a dot, it's pretty simple. We can imagine it being really small, far away, or closer to us. Anyway, I'm just going to basically do a cylinder meeting down to that. That's my way of doing it, basically, anyway, at least. And then here I'll have another cylinder. You've got to get used to drawing cylinders, fair enough. But I'll do another cylinder meeting up to there. And it's kind of rough, I know how I'm doing this, because I don't even have the joints or anything. Let me erase areas just to show you, see there. You can see how this mechanical man's like kind of taking place there, right? Now here we can do the same thing, so you know, we'll have one coming towards us, I think. So let's have this like this, and then this goes here. You can go straight over it. You can do it on another layer if you really want to, if you think it's messy. Play around with the opacities or colours. I'm doing that there, you see. This is going to go there. Get used to drawing these shapes. You can put a little ball on the socket there and then do the next part there, or you don't have to. You can just literally start to do the next one. You know, here, see. Okay, so this next one's going to just be just like there. You know, gonna put it like that, and we're gonna have this foot. Yeah, it looks a bit bigger, but then again, it's closer to us. You know, we can like change that up as you go if you're not happy with it. Here, see. So, and as I say, I'm not the best like teacher at this. I'm just showing what I've picked up and stuff from watching. If you want to put a sphere in here, you can to understand where that joint is. If you want to do things like that, you can put spheres and stuff like right here. You could have done that in the first place if you wanted to, like, you know, things like that. I'm not giving much space, but you got the idea though, right? And then, you know, the feet, you can just put like these little shapes on. These shapes to make it like a foot, you know, shape. And again, all of these too have got their own like lines where the front is, just so you can imagine. This is the front part here, and it goes down there. This is the front of the groin area here, and you can imagine how the shape is going to be. You know, top of the head is obviously here. You know, but yeah, you get the idea. And it's like, you know, it's not perfect, obviously. I mean, you can see, you know, some of the sizing and stuff, but you know, it's a good way of working things. And so, you know, there's different ways you can do your shapes. So what I would do is I would do it like, there's one, we'll get rid of that. So what we can do is we can do like a shape. I used to just do spheres. I used to just do one sphere, just do like random spheres, like literally like that. Well, not random, like sometimes I'd like plan them, you know. You can see how these could be all different kinds of people's. So you can even see that the spine is like curved differently. If you imagine that to be a spine, you see. And you can do the same thing, so I can imagine like a shoulder line. If I do it a bit thicker for you, shoulder line here, shoulder line there, shoulder line here, shoulder line there, hips line there, you know. And you know, you could have like just a circle on the side. If this on the side, just representing like where the side is, and this could be the side of the hip there. So the other hip's on the other side. See, so it goes right through here. And you wouldn't see the other one on the other side, see, because the other one's on the other side. Same for this, I could have this here, and this one could be lower, maybe the hips are on the side here, see. So, you know, and then what you could do is you could go for the faces, just again do that cross thing. I'll use blue just to show you quickly, like imagine where that face is looking, which direction, you know, do that. You see, and then what we'll do is I'll just use blue to like add some legs and arms on. So just do that, bending the knees a little bit there, the feet are there, you know. Yeah, there. It's not perfect, I know, but I'm just like, as I say, I'm not a really good artist, but I'm just doing the basics of what I know. So this is there. I'm a bit shorter there, just like in the perspective. Trying to get the perspective right. I'm not really that good at it, you know. So that could be the knees about there this side and the foot might be about there. I can imagine it shorter, see, further back. The arm could be there, one on the shoulder, see? This one could be on the other side there. The hand would be gesturing, he's talking. This one, hand could be down there. This one could be holding the head. This one could be holding that one's head, the head, see, just like that. Something like that, you know, put the hands in if you want to. This one, what are we going to do? I don't even know for this one. Just maybe skateboarding or something, I don't know. Skating or something, you never know okay, what they're doing. I'm just doing this rough basically. Just putting the arms anywhere. Okay, it's really rough, but you know what you do is you bring that really faint, you turn it really faint, the opacity, and go on another layer, and then what I would do is I'd work things out. So I'll put the shapes in. So what I'd do is I'd come in here. I wouldn't use these shapes because these shapes are not very good. Like the heads look like footballs, they're so massive. But I would follow the guide of it. So what I would do is, let's say this one, I'd do a head within that, smaller, and I'll try and get used to where it is. See, might put a couple of lines where the eyes are going to be. It's rough, like another dummy. I'll put a neck in because we didn't have a neck on the original ones. I'll put a neck. Then I'll go along here and I'll just make like a shape. You see, I'll make a shape like this. Okay. And then I'll either split it off in half, like two halves, like I do the two squares like I showed you before, or I'll put a bit of a shoulder line there if I want to. It's not much detail, just like a dummy. But what I'll do is, I know that the front's here. See, the front of this thing. This other side's here, right? It's on the other side. So what I'll do is, I'll imagine this thing like a twisty kind of, you know, rectangle, oblong thing. I want to put like a bit of a groin, like point at the bottom of my wheel, but I don't always. I just keep it flat sometimes. But I try and put a bit of a point there, 'cause it's the groin, you know. But you see, and I try and make it a bit slightly rounded, not totally square, but it's like not totally round, but not totally square, and it's not the same size as the circles we started off with. It's like within those I'm trying to make it the right size, you see. Now the legs, I just follow on from there, just do the shapes, you know, you see, about there. I'm sorry about those people talking very loudly in the other room, I'm very sorry if you can hear that. I'll go down here and I'll do like, you know, a bit of a shape to it, like, you know, the leg. The other knee's like about there, it should be in front actually, about like that. So I'll just do that. The thighs are obviously thicker than the the shins, the calves. So put the foot there because it's like bent back, so we can't see the bottom half of the leg. That's actually the foot I've just drawn there. So this is where it's bending. See, it's like that. So it's like it goes up there. That's the center, but it like twists. You see, and obviously the that's there. Actually, the groin part it would be. The torso starts back there, the rib cage, and you've got the chest there. If you was going to do that, and you know, and all the rest of it, and you'd have like the whatever the six pack, whatever it's going to be. I didn't have to actually put that in. I was just like showing you roughly there. I don't want to confuse you with too much stuff. But it's what I'm doing. See, so I'll be like there, kind of thing. You can put that there. Put a bit of a line there to show that if you wanna, just so you understand. You know, but yeah, then from here, you know, the arms, obviously it's a bit hard because I'm drawing over lines here, so I have to imagine where it is, or I can do it on another layer even. It might get a bit messy, you may have to like readjust it how you've drawn it, you know. So this one here, the hands on the hips, I'm just doing very simple, I'm not even doing much detail. Erase that, okay, erase a little area there. And this, I want this to be a bit more in front, so see how I've just overlapped that line so it's in front. See, if I had it the other way like this, that would look wrong. That's like it's over it, you see. So this one's over here, and that works the same for any overlapping of anything we're doing. I'm just going to do a hand like that, really simple with the thumb, but not drawing every finger. If you want to do the fingers, you can. I mean, what you can do is like a really thin, like light way of doing it, like that. Really simple. You can practice doing that. And I've just been practicing doing this. I feel it's kind of like a bit too wide as we're here. Like I can make it go in a little bit more, just a little bit. For women, it'd be much more curvy even. you know, for women characters. Again here, this is a little bit too, what do you call it? Okay, there we go. So, you know, and that's a good start dummy, I feel. We just save that while I'm here. It's like a rough as well. I think it's quite useful to save, like, for reference, like certain things, you know. I'm going to stop this video in a moment. Okay, I'm loving, you know, doing some practice like this. Definitely using some of these methods really helps. I've found. What you do though is you see, you turn it off, and you bring this down really light, and then you go on top of it, and you draw your real character, you know, on top of it. So I'm not going to do one, but I'm just going to give you like an example. You go in, you know, you might decide however this character is going to look. You'd zoom in. I wouldn't do it like I'm doing now. This is like really rough. I may do it. I might like start off with a rough design like this, you know, do some hair or whatever this is going to be. It still looks like really rough, you know. But I would, you know, I'd come in, I'd draw it again, you know. So I'd work out the clothes and everything, if it's wearing a jacket or whatever it's going to be, you know what I mean? So I won't do that now, but you know what I mean? I'll do that, and then again I'd make another layer on top of it, zoom in, I might enlarge the image to make it like better quality, and draw a really better one on top, you know. But it's a good way to practice though, and there's different ways you can practice. So with these kind of dummies, I feel they really work well. You don't have to have these lines here too, like I've given you these lines you see on the screen now, but it just helps sometimes for the sizing. And obviously you've got different kinds of sizes for characters too, so you'd have like, you have to understand they're like 3D, they're not flat like, you know, just squares and circles. You have to imagine them to be like, you know, shapes. And obviously for some characters you might have like a woman, for example, you might have like a narrow, more narrow shoulders and wider hips, you know what I mean? Something like that. It's really like a case of doing that, you know. You got this really, you know, something like that, you know, and then boobs and everything. But I'm not going to do that now. I'm just saying, you know, you've got different kinds of you know, body types as well and stuff, you know. So you might have like a character, you might want to come in with some character like shape to start off with, like a wide kind of like square type head. Experiment, do a neck here, like a body here, maybe like that, some kind of, I don't know, big belly, fat body or something like that. You might want to put a bit of a point in, you know. You might want to just go in straight away with some shapes for the legs, you know, just work it out from the word go even, see. But you know, I used to just do them like this. Sometimes this helps really a lot as well. Or you can do silhouettes, you can do scribbles, there's many ways you can do it. Other blocky like shapes and stuff, triangles, you know. But you can even just do like this, even just like a shape, like this, see, like this kind of thing. See, look, imagine this thing like overlapping here, see. Okay, he's reaching down to get something, you know. Oh, you see, and I've still got that principle. I know that this is a two parts to it. See, that's bending. I know the front's here, his ears here, see, like this one, the face is there, he's looking. See, I know where it basically is, you know what I mean. And that works well as well, as long as you understand. It's just another way of understanding. So when I'm doing these shapes like this, I'll do a bit of a neck, maybe, it depends, or I'll just leave it out and then draw it in later, but I'll give enough space for it. When I do these kind of shapes, see, like this, like one part is here, then I bend it and do another part here, see, and then you see, and then like, you know, whatever it might be, the knees here or something, you know, whatever it's going to be. I'm imagining this thing. See, like it's like a cushion. It's like a. See, I'm imagining it like this. You see, like that. It's like boom, 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 like pieces of chocolate or something. That's what it is, you know. You know, that's what it basically is. And these are all cylinders, you know, and stuff. And it's just, I don't know, just things like that. As I say, that thing about putting like the hands first is a good thing as well to remember. Right here, doing the body, doing the body first, let's say like that, and then you want to put the hands like somewhere anywhere they're going to be, and then you understand where to put the arms, like shorter there because of the perspective. If it was up to the side, it'd be like that longer, but because it's facing the front, it's like here is like more, this part of the arm's shorter, so seems to be. Yeah, okay, yeah, what else then, just quickly, so it's just good practice, you know. Sometimes I just go in like the triangles and stuff. I might go like this, literally like some triangles and like diamond shapes and like triangular shapes and stuff. I'll do that, or like even like curvy ones, or even like weird shapes, like really rough shapes and stuff like this. Same thing, see, and I'll put like these these pointy wavy pieces and stuff, you know, like that helps. That's good sometimes too. You know, I might just scribble something in or do a silhouette. You've seen me do that before as well. What else? Yeah, so that's just some basics there, you know, but the whole idea is there while we're doing that in our mind, you know. So I'm gonna go, let's see, I'm gonna go like do a shape. See, it's hard because when you're thinking about these pieces, it can be hard to visualize everything, you know what I mean, because if you're doing a stick figure, you're just thinking about the basic thing first. Like, I regard this as my basic stick figure, like head and a neck, and two bits there, and then just that. That's basically it. Put the hands and the legs on like that. But then when it's on the side, it's kind of hard because you got, it's not going to be a cube. It's more like a flat rectangle thing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know. On the side, right? Not exactly as skinny as that maybe, but you get the idea though, yeah? Because it's not going to be a cube on the side like that, is it? It may be. See? Or like a sphere. You know. But we start off like that. You might start off like that. You might start off like that. I might start off like that indeed, like from the front, like just doing some spheres, small one for the head and then two for the body. You know, that could be front on. Sorry, shoulder line and hips line, face, that cross there, centre line part, and then I might do that, you see, but then this one might be on the side. I might do a little shape for the ear to show that, and you might want to put a little circle there to show where that's going to be, the hips and the, you know what I mean, the hips and the arm, or just literally just draw them on. Imagine where that is, you know. You can see about the other leg a bit on the other side. The other arm's on the other side, so we can't see it. The centre of the body's here. You know, this is here, so we can't see that. But it's like, you know, you'd make that thin, wouldn't you? See, faint, sorry. And you'd go on another layer, and you would literally, when you start drawing your character in properly, you would do it. You wouldn't draw his body like a ball, would you? You wouldn't draw his body like a ball. So I'm just going to do a guy in a t-shirt. See. I'm not drawing his body like a sphere now, I'm just drawing it smaller than the sphere, you see. So we're drawing, got very long legs this guy, he's like Slenderman. But you see, you're just drawing within those circles. You see, I'd make it within. The head is smaller than the sphere, again the same with the body, see here. Okay, there we go, you know. Drawing them arms in there, see, and the same for the legs. Just work using it as a guide. But we're doing it to know how to turn the body and stuff. You know, that's what we're basically doing it for. But you know, you can do like the basic shapes. I said, like just rough shapes. Either way you want to do it, you can do it like pieces and stuff like that, and just understanding the basic forms and stuff, even like that. Putting this part of the arm in front. This part of the arm there, so we can't see the rest of it, see. Might put a knee here, put that there. That might be there, and I'm really bad at doing this. The other foot's there, you get the idea though, but I'm just imagining these parts, my squares and my head, I'm imagining that's still there, you know. But yeah, you know, Other things too, like a character sitting down. Let's just imagine that this is a big box, okay? We want to have a little character sitting on top of this. So I might have like a character sitting on this box like here. So the head's here, and then the whole body's like that, two parts. And this is going all the way down to his backside, right? This bottom part is literally his backside, the groin area anyway. So we just put like the knees, the top of the knees like that, and the feet there, because we can't see the rest of the legs that much. And if the legs are together, then it might be a woman or whatever it is, a character there, you might have both legs together like that. See, the knee, this is the knee, just above there. It's where the knee is, you see. And then the rest of the leg just connects back there anyway. And you might have the arms like resting there, or the arms resting like on the front there, something like that. You know, and it's the same. Or you may have the arms in front like this. See, like this from here. This is the hand, and this is the elbow, because we can't see the top half of the arm. See this one here, this one here, this one. See, look at this. I put the elbow over here, and the hand here. See, and the shoulder here. It may be different. It might be like this is more closer to here, so this part is shorter now, and here, see, and then this is long, because we can only see that part. And if this guy was to reach his arm straight towards us, then we can only see the hand. Thumbs up. You see, because you can't see the arm. It's like it's a cylinder turned to face us, like we can only see a circle basically, right? So that's basically it. So you can see how I've got the knees in front and the elbows in front there. You know, well, this is what I'm actually basically trying to do. So it's hard to like basically sit here just thinking of poses and positions. You can look at stuff for reference, you can look at photos and videos and stuff for reference, but the thing is, like, for your actual plans, for your actual animation and comics and stuff, it's good to actually have like not just a flat space like we're looking at here, flat background. You want to have like some kind of idea of like a three-dimensional space, like real people, you know. So if you have like, you know, a background already drawn, or maybe like a photo taken of like a screenshot of like a three-dimensional background like setup, you might make in a piece of software, like 3D software, like Blender or SketchUp. Okay, Blender or SketchUp are very good for that. You can just make like a basic 3D, like a room or some kind of setting where you want to have people doing action moves and fight moves, and you know, walking around, walking up steps, jumping over cars, doing flying kicks and climbing up buildings and trees, whatever it is. You want to have that camera angle there in 3D, and then with this understanding that we already have of drawing, what you can do is you can basically bring the image in of a background, just a basic rough setup. It doesn't have to be detailed, it can be just basic simple stuff like cubes and shapes in 3D, but you've got the angles you want. If you want, you know, it can be as detailed as you like, but you just bring it in and then work on another layer on top and just literally draw on top of that and work out how you're going to draw these stick figures, you know, in position before you draw your real characters. And all the stick figure stuff and the screenshots of the 3D stuff, all that stuff you won't be using in your final thing. It will just help you to set up your scenes, how to draw your background and how to draw your characters. So I'm going to stop this video in a moment. Okay, I need to get going and then get myself a last cup of tea before I go to sleep. Yeah, some people drink tea and they can't sleep after doing so, but just like coffee, but I'm fine. So I'm just doing a rough one here. See, so it's really, what I've found is it's actually really easier the more you practice, obviously. I'm doing that fairly skinny guy here. But yeah, I'm just doing a quick little doodle basically. Just so I always have trouble when I'm drawing the arms like on top here. It's like it overlaps it all, you know. So sometimes it's good to like start on another layer, you know. Sometimes it's good to start on another layer. Like turn this down and just work out the arms on another layer. So I might put do the hands first. Yeah, do the hands. That's the thing to do, isn't it? You know, work out where those elbows go, where they would go. Yeah, that is the way to go. See, and there you go. Then work that out. You can merge them down if you want to merge them and join them as one, but and then on top of that you just literally do your character, I guess. So I'm going to stop this video in a moment, okay, I really am. If you trust me, I'll shut up in a moment. I'm just doing a little rough sketch here, just trying to practice like some simple characters, simple shapes. And then, you can work on your different builds and stuff too. Remember, a man is usually has wider shoulders than the waist or similar, but like whereas a woman will have wider hips, than the shoulders. Okay, but this is a simple little thing. Okay, so yeah, look at photos, look at real people, get some ideas, think about characters, get inspired by watching some anime stuff or whatever. I'll talk to you again very soon, and thank you very much for watching. This is just some rough stuff. I've got a lot of stuff in the works. I'm planning a lot of different ones, okay, a lot of different videos and animation and art and animation. Take care, lots of stuff on the way. Thanks for watching.